What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? What is it? Thursday morning early here on the East Coast. Not that early, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. But guys, last night, midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, Dana White goes, all right, boom, we got ourselves an announcement, so let's run with it. June 22nd, the Saudi Arabia card. So this card has been kind of talked about, discussed for a little bit. They even had kind of a card, and maybe it was canceled, and back and forth, but we're just talking about what's happening now, right? June 22nd, first UFC. It's a fight night in Saudi Arabia. Dana White announced the full card, but what we're going to get into the most, right, is the main event. We got Khamzat Chimeav is back versus Robert Whittaker. Like, can't do that much better than that. Like, that is phenomenal matchmaking. It makes sense in so many ways. I'm going to get into that in a second. But maybe the most important thing that came out of it to me is Dana goes, this is for the number one contendership, number one spot for the middleweight championship. Also, too, last night they announced that UFC 305's in Perth, Australia in the summer, August. That does seem like a DDP versus Izzy spot, maybe a DDP versus Strickland spot. We'll see where that kind of shakes out. But Whittaker versus Chimeav, this kind of just break that down, get into it a little bit. If you guys have anything to say, takes, betting lines, what you guys think, come with it. But guys, Robert Whittaker, 33 years old, 25-7 career, 16-5 in the UFC. And if you say that out loud, it doesn't sound like amazing. 16-5, of course, is a great record, but it's even better when you say that when he switched up to the middleweight division, that win streak that he went on is one of the best middleweight win streaks, one of the best little eras of middleweights in the UFC, maybe ever, other than, of course, Anderson Silva, Anderson Spider, and Izzy. But his three losses, Robert Whittaker's three losses as a middleweight in the UFC, 2 to Izzy, and 1, of course, the DDP that just happened International Fight Week last year, UFC in Vegas. His wins are phenomenal. Like Robert Whittaker's wins, Costa just this, a couple months ago, Vittori, Kevin Gastelum, Jared Cannonier. He has a lot of, big, great wins. Let's see right here. Our guy Thomas writes, this is where we find out if Rob's passed it. I agree. All right, Jeff, what you got? Hope Bobby Knuckles humbles him. I've been hearing that a lot. So far, last night on social media, on MMA Twitter, and this morning, it seems like a lot of the people, maybe me included, are really hoping Robert Whittaker gets the job done. Like Robert Whittaker is every fighter's favorite fighter. Everyone loves Robert Whittaker, what he does outside the octagon, inside the octagon. Great guy, gamer, and he just comes to fight. He brings the fight. He's never shy. He's never walking away. Robert Whittaker's usually leading that dance. So that's Bobby Knuckles. Let's go to Chimeav, guys. Not a lot, right? 13-0, 29 years young. Had a wonky last couple of years, just to be brutally honest, right? And his last 3 wins. And now this is why I'm so happy that he's fighting again in the middleweight division, because even Chimeav thought he was going to fight for the middleweight championship after defeating Usman, Usman, one of the greatest welterweights in the history of the sport. He's not a middleweight. It was short notice. It was a really good fight, too. Everyone felt the tides were starting to turn. If there was more rounds, people thought Usman was gaining momentum where Chimeav was kind of lacking in momentum. So, I'm one of those. We needed Chimeav to fight a top 5, top 3 middleweight if he was going to fight for the championship. His last 3 wins, Chimeav, guys, isn't it? Usman, Kevin Holland, and Gilbert Burns. 3 studs, 3 phenomenal guys. Usman short notice. Remember, Kevin Holland was supposed to be Nate Diaz, and that was a day too short notice. Is Holland a middleweight or welterweight? Burns fought at lightweight, for goodness sake, and now I know he's a welterweight. Usman, like I said, one of the greatest welterweights ever. It would have been a little criminal, if I could say. And I know where the game is, and I know we're in the fight business, and I love where they make huge fights, and I'm one who's very pro. They should make Ilya versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like, that's just once in a lifetime kind of a fight. The 2 biggest young lightweight stars kind of moving together. You put that fight together, it could be the biggest fight of the year. But Chimeav cannot fight for the middleweight championship off of Usman, Holland, and Burns. He just can't. Like, he needed this fight. And that's why it's brilliant. For one, it's a great main event. It's one of the best fight night main events that I can remember. Chimeav versus Whittaker, like, that is a co-main event for a pay-per-view. God, goodness sake, if one of these guys had the championship belt, if this was a championship fight, this would main event any UFC numbered pay-per-view. Like, this is a high-level, big-time fight. And I'm pumped. I would love your guys' take on Where do you think the betting line is going to be on? We're here at Fight Bonanza every Wednesday night. We have a betting show. I would believe that Chimeav would be the betting favorite, but not by much. Like Chimaev's usually minus 300s, minus 450s in that range. I think it's going to be close. I could see Chimeav maybe minus 150, maybe 170 in that range. Bobby Knuckles, because if you give Bobby Knuckles plus 200 on the betting market, he will be steamed for sure. So there we go. That's my first reaction. It's weird. My first reaction when I saw the fight poster, I like Robert Whittaker. I will always go on that side. Let's see. Thomas. The Wolf is wild, but so is Rob. It's going to be explosive for sure. That's another point. That first round is going to be absolutely bananas. Like both of these guys kind of go like this at the first round, especially. So I'm very excited to just see the fight, see where it goes. You would think Chimeav would want to grapple and wrestle with them, but guys, Bobby Knuckles is not going to let that happen. One of the best wrestlers in the division. His kickboxing skills, I cannot wait, guys. Robert Whittaker, Chimeav, June 22nd, Fight Night main event, Saudi Arabia. Also, it's on ABC. So I assume, especially if it being in Riyadh, I believe we're going to get that fight during the day. So tell me at 3:30 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon right here on the East Coast, we're going to see Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker versus Chimeav. I love it. It's a great fight announcement. If Chimeav wins, he will earn, and he has the limelight. He has the name. He has everything behind him. He just needed that top 5, top 3 middleweight win. If he wins it, he absolutely fights for the championship. And I even hope they get it done this year. I hope DDP can fight an Izzy or Strickland in the summer, and then in the fall, November, October, maybe even December. But I would love to see Chimeav or Whittaker versus DDP or whoever he fights, right? Strickland or Izzy. So, guys, the middleweight will be fun for the next 5 months. We can see Izzy, DDP, Strickland. We got Chimeav and Whittaker. A lot of big stuff happening. But there we go. I just wanted the kind of first reaction. Chimeav, Whittaker, June 22nd, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ABC during the day. It's going to be phenomenal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the brand new YouTube channel. You can like, share, all that good stuff. This will also be on audio. You can subscribe to the Dave Van Auken Show. I'm going to put that up on audio for us. Just a real quick 8 minutes, Chimeav and Whittaker. See you guys later when something else breaks, right? Let's go.